Hey, Botsy. So, just wanted to go over some stuff. This is going to probably be my last I Miss You Bots blog. On the blog, I went to counseling today, my third week of counseling, and it's hard and emotionally draining doing as much counseling as I'm doing. I'm going 3 times a week to counseling, and I spoke to your mom. I saw you yesterday. I thanked your mom. I asked her for more time, and that got turned down to more time. What's happening is that your mom is punishing me through you, using you that way, and that kind of sucks. I understand your mom's point, and I talked to my counselor about it today, about trust. If she doesn't trust me in one aspect of our life with her, then she won't trust me in any other aspect. Even though it's exaggerated, that one aspect of it, I understand that trust. That trust is a huge part of our life, and that if you can't trust one person, like let's say finances, you can't trust your spouse with finances, there's probably other areas that you don't trust him in either, or you just don't trust him in general. And I think that that's where me and your mom are there. That she doesn't trust me with her and what we've done to each other, so therefore she's not going to let me see you more. And so I talked to my counselor about that today, and he kind of helped me to realize a lot of stuff. That, you know, like your mom was telling Sandy the other day that I brought up beer in one of our in one of the blogs. It's true, you know. It's hard right now because it's like my counselor told me, because he's been watching the blogs too, and told me that it's hard when you're being this vulnerable to have a person who's not yet as vulnerable watching the blog or interpreting it, because what happens is you have a person like my wife who's still super scorned, still super upset, and what they do is they nitpick the vulnerability that you have. They nitpick and say, oh, well, so you see that? He brought that up. He's still not changed. And even though this blog is meant for me, now it's being used against me. And that's the part that has to stop. This blog was meant for me to be honest to myself about problems I have with myself, problems I have with my life. But if you're being as vulnerable as I am, I'm just pretty much puking out my soul 3 days a week, and then up to 3 times a day in this blog, I'm an emotional wreck. I just am. I'm an emotional wreck. Every day is a day I spend purging something about myself that I don't like out of myself. And it's hard. And it makes me want to cry. And it makes me just want to just crawl in a hole and do what I used to do and close off. Because it leaves me so open and so vulnerable. But I'm running into that part now where me and your mom aren't even seeing eye to eye yet. Your mom's not prepared yet to come to terms with who she is for herself. And we're never going to meet halfway if we both can't, right now, let each other go. So my counselor told me to stop doing these blogs, or if I do them, don't post them so that Natalie can see them. Post these so that they're for me. So in that way they're not used against me. They're not used and they're not misinterpreted. I'm being super vulnerable right now. And I do want to open up my heart. I do want to open up my soul. But your mom isn't there yet. She's far from there. She's still very much in revenge mode. She's still very much in perfection mode. She's still very much in the fact that she takes no ownership of the fact that I'm still unhappy with her, and she doesn't understand why. And she sent me a text last night that I want to read. It says, I talked to her. Oh, man, come on. My phone's just being so weird lately. So, I wrote her last night saying, I wish we understood the other person, how I can't wait for that to happen. And your mom wrote back, this will be the biggest challenge of it all. And she absolutely truthful. What your mom wrote there was, it's the hardest challenge right now to understand each other, or understand the fact that we both have scorned each other, that we both have done things, regardless if it's a reaction, it's still an action. And even though I told my counselor half the time I would do things because she would piss me off, it's still not right what I did. Even the reaction of acting badly is still an action that's negative, and that's not positive, and that's not conducive to a family environment. And your mom doesn't get that yet. Right now she's still, oh, I just reacted, so I'm justified. I reacted, so I'm justified. Look at what we have done to each other, Ratzi. I go to counseling 3 times a week right now. And I can tell you one ultimate thing right now. That love isn't meant to be a reaction. It's not meant to be, oh, well, I'm only going to care about you if you do what's right. Love is meant, I'm going to support you to the end. And I'm going to try to understand you every day so I can support you. Not, I'm only going to care about you, but if I don't understand it, I'm going to react badly towards it. That's not love, Ratzi. And that's what we've done to each other. We've taken our relationship and said, if I don't understand it, I'm not going to condone it, and I'm going to hate you for it, and I'm going to act badly about it. We've sabotaged each other so much that now all we have left are 2 people who are completely broken in half. We have me trying to resolve me, my mom trying to resolve her own way, and we have you right in between us. And instead of giving us the opportunity to trust each other, we're punishing each other still. You're being used as this like bargaining chip, saying, okay, well, and your mom also wrote me back, right, saying, what she wrote last? She wrote today. Please also give me time, please. I was just opening up, and now things seem so calculation again. There's nothing calculation about me being vulnerable or being open, and that's the problem. Is that when you have a person, that's what my counselor told me today too, is that I need to stop talking to your mom, cut her off, cut her out of my life for now, and that's why I can't do these vlogs no more the same way that I've done in these vlogs. If your mom doesn't move forward and forgive us, then she needs to start actually just trusting. And until there's trust there, there's no need for us to communicate. There's no need. And nothing that I do. I have a D-Day of October 22nd. That D-Day is no guarantee that your mom's, that me and mom will ever get back together again. So don't do this change for her, you told me. Don't fix her life for her. Fix her life for you and let your wife go. And that's hard because I don't want to divorce. But I think that that's where we're actually headed. We're never, ever going to come together as a couple if we can't come to ourselves as individuals and assume ownership of our faults. I've spent the past prior 2 weeks telling our counselor, well, I always reacted towards her. She would insult me, tell me I'm poor, tell me I'm stupid, tell me I'm white trash, tell me that my adoptive family is a pile of poop, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. And I always reacted badly. But that reaction itself isn't justified at all, because that's not how you're supposed to be as a person. You're not supposed to be that fucking bad. You're not supposed to react that way if you love that person. But I have. I've reacted that way. And so, regardless of your mom saying, oh, well, it was a reaction, so it's justified, that's shit. Lucy, that is shit. We know right now that that is shit. You're not supposed to react that way at all in any situation. You're supposed to love your partner and try to understand them. And that's what we can't do. We can't understand each other because we're not on the same page yet. I'm being as vulnerable, as open, and caring and compassionate as possible with myself right now. And with you, Ratzi. But when your mom is in the state of mind she's in, where she's not prepared to be vulnerable yet, these blogs are only going to be used against me. They're only going to be used to nitpick at, to find more fault, to say, oh look, he brought up the word beer, so he's going to drink again. Then I'm going to drink again. But it's not the beer that made me angry, it was our relationship. It's our relationship. I'm going to counseling 3 days a week. I'm blogging every night. The alcohol used to mask the pain. And so if I decide to not drink ever again, that still won't change the fact that I'm still unhappy with my spouse. If I decide to quit and I never drink ever again, that still will not fix our marriage. It won't fix any of it. It still won't fix the fact that we have fundamental problems that we both don't see eye to eye on. I could not drink ever again, and I'll still be unhappy. What I'll have to do, though, is find a way to deal with that unhappiness. find a constructive way to explain to your wife, or to my wife, your mom, that I'm unhappy with you still. And that's the fear that I have, and I told my counselor today, is that I do all these things, and I keep evolving as a person. I keep blogging, I keep being humble, I keep pouring out my heart every day, and in the end, my wife's going to be the same person she was before we got into this problem. And that's my fear right now. So, he told me stop blogging. Actually, he told me stop posting them for your mom to see. So, I told him I'd post one more today to tell you, Batsi, that I'm going to stop blogging, stop posting them. I'm going to keep doing this every day, but I'm not going to post them anymore on YouTube. I'm going to keep them here, or I'll create a private YouTube channel that I just store them long term on. But this is my last final blog. You can't be vulnerable in front of a person who still isn't on the same page, because they're not going to understand that this is important. They're going to stare at it and go, oh, that's shit, that's shit, that's shit, that's shit. Oh, look at he said that, look at he said that. That's not what I need in my life right now. I need a person in my life right now who can support me to say, you know what, I don't understand what went wrong, but I do understand that we need to fix it, that we need to come together and rally as a family. I don't need a person right now in my life who's on an endless shopping spree of new clothes and gifts trying to fill the exterior. I need someone who's willing to talk to me every day, who's willing to tell me something about themselves every day, who's willing to be vulnerable and open every day. And right now, that's not your mom, and that saddens me. Everything your mom says to me right now, I think, is a constant lie. Everything she says to me right now, I don't believe. And the hardest part about that is that your mom doesn't think that way at all. She thinks she's an honest, innocent snowflake who's never done anything wrong. I'll tell you one thing, Batson. No one is perfect in life. Everyone makes mistakes every day. What makes us real, humble, real, intelligent, real kind, caring people is to admit those faults and acknowledge those faults. I've spent so much time lying to myself and lying to other people, saying, oh, I'm perfect, I'm flawless, I'm great. I've become a liar, Batsi. I, as of this day, 145/8/7/2014, I'm a liar. Because I spent my whole time trying to build this life of perfection, this whole life of constant lies about who I am and who I'm not. To thy own self be true. And I'm no longer a liar now, but I was up until this whole incident happened. I lied about everything, all of the time. You know, it wasn't who I was. I was trying to be this perfect person who never made any faults, who was always the smartest, most intelligent, most awesomest person you've ever seen in your entire life. And it made me miserable inside. And it made me want to hate myself. It made me not care about anyone around me. It made me not care about everything. All it turned me into was everything that I hate. It turned me into everything. It also made me feel more and more like when I looked in the mirror, I see your mom. We are a mirror image of each other. We're both not honest. We both don't tell the truth. We both don't admit when we're wrong, which is not telling the truth. We don't ever back down when we know that we're wrong. We try to bully and push people to fit our agenda. When we make mistakes, we don't own up to those mistakes. Me and your mom are a mirror image of each other. It's like staring right into the mirror. But one thing is certain though, I don't want to be that way no more. I want to be vulnerable and open and honest. I want to be able to stare in the mirror and love what I look at. And I need a partner right now. I need a friend, a companion, someone who says, you know what? We have burnt a bridge with each other that I don't know how long it'll take to repair, but I'm willing to lay down the first plank of wood. I'm willing to lay down the right side if you lay down the left side. And I want to trust so bad, because trust is a part of that healing process. But how can you trust a person who isn't ready to be vulnerable yet, who isn't willing to put a foot down yet? You can't. All you can do is do what I'm doing. Go to counseling as much as possible. Be honest every day. Admit your faults right when they happen. Give as much love out as you get in. And not just, oh, I'm a loving, caring person, but unconditional love. Real love. Love without rules. Love without restrictions. And that's what me and your mom do not do. Don't let her tell you that she does that, because she's wrong. She's a loving, caring person, but she does not love unconditionally. She loves with rules. She loves with control. And that's what I've done. I've only loved your mom when she did what I told her to do, and when I was happy with the fact that she did something right. But when she would screw up, I would throw it in her face. I would make fun of her about it. I would rub it in on her. That was wrong. It was totally wrong. That's what we've done to each other. You know, me and your mom have no idea who the other person actually is. Your mom likes to say, oh, I'm the same caring person I've been, and that's a lie. And until your mom is prepared to be vulnerable and really dig deep and say, yes, I have been wrong, and I will take ownership of this marriage, and ownership of the fact that even though you said things that were wrong, it wasn't a reaction, it's still wrong. Doing that is still wrong, and you did it for a reason. And through those text messages, I can see that it's going to be a lot longer than October. So, I'm going to start preparing for a separation. I'm going to start on my path to work out things alone. I have less than 3 months to fix all of this. But I know it's not going to happen. So now I have 3 months to come up with a plan that ensures that when I look in the mirror, October 22nd, I love the person that I see with all of my heart. And I love that person for all my flaws. I love that person for all of my disabilities. That I look in the mirror and I love that person for every single mistake. Because if I love that person, I'll love anyone else who comes into my life, and I'll love them unconditionally. That's what I want to accomplish. That's going to be the new goal. The goal isn't going to be to work together for your mom. It's going to be to work at myself so that in the end, I'm good to go. So, this is my last blog that I'm doing on IMissYouBots.com. I'm only going to write out blogs there now. And I'm going to keep doing my video blogs, but I'm not going to post them no more. If your mom wants to call me or see me or drop you off, she can drop you off. But I'm not dealing with Sammy no more. If that means I don't get to see you, it's going to hurt. But it should be your mom dropping you off. No more Sammy. No more person in between us. If there's any chance at us at all being friends, then we need to actually start to lay down one plank of wood at a time. Take one baby step at a time. Learn to trust each other. And I'm not sure if that's even possible. I'm just not sure, Botsy, if that's at all even something that we can do. But I don't want you, Botsy, at all to think that this isn't serious to me. It is. This is my go big or go home. Fixing me so that, not just so that I'm a good father, but that so I'm a good person. And I wish I could keep blogging on the I Miss You Bots, but until the things I say don't get used or turned against me, there's no need to show your mom any of this. The only thing I need to do in the end is prove to myself and prove to you that all of this shit was worth it. It's just a moment in time. So, the last thing I'm going to say on this I Miss You Bots blog, Botsy, is learn. As after you've watched probably 20-30 clips now, and you can see that there's so much wrong in what I've done, so much wrong in what we've done. The biggest problem in our marriage is that no one ever was brave enough, took the time or had the courage to own up to their mistakes, help the other person understand those mistakes, and then figure out a plan to move forward. We never did. We never ever loved each other or said, hey, you know what, tell me anything about you and I'm going to believe you. Tell me something about you, and I'm going to trust you. No matter what you tell me, no matter what you do, I'm going to love you unconditionally, and I'll never use it against you. Because if you can't be intimate to your spouse, Bati, if you can't bare your soul to your spouse without it being used against you, then you shouldn't marry that person, and you shouldn't be with that person. And that's what you have with me and Mom. Two people who can't really be themselves because the other person is too busy judging them, holding them back, putting them down, or finding ways to explain, oh, that's why you're stupid. That's why you're this and that. Oh, that's why you didn't learn this from that. You didn't learn that from that person. Oh, because the Soleros adopted you when you're 12. That's why you don't know about this. That's why you don't know about that. That stuff is wrong. She just told Sammy today that she thinks that the Salernos adopting me was why I don't know about accountability or responsibility. That's wrong. Those people adopted me when no one else would. They took care of me when no one else would. And she doesn't understand that at all because she's never been in my shoes. But she's not supposed to be in my shoes. She's supposed to just love me for who I am. And that's the problem. We don't love each other for who the other person is. We are fucked up to each other. And I want to change that. I want to be vulnerable. I want to be open. I want a partner who I can cry on their shoulder to, who I can bare my soul to and not be in fear of being judged. And I don't know in the end if that's possible. So this is the last blog on the I Miss You Bots blog. I love you. I miss you. And I only get 2 days. Just asking for 3 right now means that your mom has to actually drop her guard and trust me. And your mom still right now is in a zone where she wants to hurt me on purpose and use you as the only thing, her only bargaining chip. So I'm not going to ask for 3 days. No more. I'm going to cut out your mom for the next few months. If she wants to meet me, then she can meet me halfway. And I'm scared. I'm very scared. I hope it all works out, Watson.